Most stories feature adventurers as the protagonists, but do you remember who placed the weapons in their hands? A bond of souls ignited in iron and the furnace, writing the legends that belong to the blacksmiths. The story begins with a tragedy in sea. The blacksmith village Vulcania was invaded by monsters. The final gate was already crumbling under the demon's assault. Inside the village, there were only weak blacksmiths left. Such combat power was nowhere near enough to face the demon army outside. The Empire sent word, essentially telling us to fend for ourselves. I knew it. I've known for a long time that we were abandoned. Now, the only way to survive might be to accept the demon's terms. Go to the demon territory and forge weapons for them. How could we ever agree to such a thing? Everyone here is prepared to face death. However, there was one person. Father, I'm so scared. Don't be afraid, Yuta remembers. You must stay hidden here. You must not come out, no matter what. The smelting techniques passed down through generations in our village must not end. So, you must live on. Only then can we stand our ground without regrets. Remember to always keep the courage to move forward. Without us, there would be no adventurers. In this land infested with monsters, we are the ones who forge the claws for humanity. Even in despair, even facing a cruel reality. No matter what, you must survive and carry on the legacy of our village. As the last gate was smashed open, all the adventurers and blacksmiths who could still fight stood forward. So, you have finally chosen deaths. What of deaths? We humans will never surrender. In that case, I'll send you all to hell. You fools of Vulcania. Let these monsters witness the strength of us blacksmiths. We are the magical turn that challenges the realm of steel with mortal hands. Hammer and tongs, the eternal bond of the furnace. If possible, we hope to create a magic unique to blacksmiths. Seeing her father fighting the monsters, Yuta could no longer hold back her tears. She ran frantically toward the battlefield. Remember our names, we are the eternal forgers. Time seemed to stand still at this moment. The land she grew up on was now littered with corpses. The neighbors who greeted her every day were now stained red, becoming cold, lifeless bodies. Even her beloved father had fallen. Yuta was in disbelief. Her world seemed to collapse in that single instant. Yet as they say, the rope breaks at its thinnest, and misfortune finds the wretched. So, there's still one alive. How unfortunate. All the shields that could protect you have been shattered to pieces. Saying this, it grabbed Yuta's head directly and dragged her backward. Brutal fingers left a deep scar right across Yuta's right eye. Congratulations on surviving this massacre. Even if just a child, you are a craftsman who inherited the Vulcania bloodline. Then dedicate your life to the Demon King's army. From this day on, you are the blacksmith of the Demon King's army. The scene shifts. In a slave forge at the Demon King's coastal wharf, quenching heating hammerings. This is what I do every day in the Demon King's army. My name is Valencia Yuta, the last survivor of the blacksmith village. 10 years have passed since the village was massacred. Although I survived, I became a slave blacksmith for the Demon King's army. This kind of work, day and night without freedoms. I will be driven mad sooner or later. Am I even worthy of being called a blacksmith anymore? Slave blacksmith, get out here. The Legion commander walked in, carrying a corpse. He was my confidant, sadly. He died in battle against the hero. Yes, as you might have guessed. The materials I use to forge weapons are these damn monsters. The commander brings the corpses of fallen comrades from the battlefield to me. He has me dismantle them and forge the useful parts into weapons. This is the work I must complete every day, using the skills of Vulcania to provide weapons for our enemies. It is simply pathetic. Despite this, I have a persistent thought every day. What exactly is the true blacksmith my father spoke of? I want to know why they chose not to surrender back then. Even if it's just once, I want to get out of this hellhole and see the world. At that moment, the ceiling suddenly began to shatter. A massive object fell through it, landing on the ground behind me. This place is too big, I've ended up getting lost. Why is there a human here? The sudden appearance of the woman shocked me. After questioning her, I found out the person before me claimed to be a hero, a new generation adventurer, strength unknown. Meanwhile, at the commander's side, according to a report from a subordinate, other commanders questioned the practice of humans using comrade corpses to make weapons. How foolish. The blacksmith slave skill is inherited through bloodline. Unless they are a direct descendant, no one else can touch it. The forging would explode or melt. Our bodies have completely different levels of danger, depending on our individual characteristics. The eye that can perceive and avoid danger in advance is precisely their bloodline inheritance. The performance of the weapons they forge is beyond imagination. This is a perfect opportunity to improve our weapons. The other commanders are truly moronic. The only survivor of the blacksmith village is on our side now. For the Demon King's great cause. What does it matter if we sacrifice some corpses of our comrades? Are you really a hero? That's just a title people give me. My attention was drawn to the greatsword at her waist. Excuse me, hero. What material is that weapon at your waist made of? This hardness. This forging technique is simply incredible. I had this forged in a place called Blacksmith Street. This sword isn't anything precious. It was just forged from ionized water iron, and I added a few spells to it. To me, the flavor of this sword is fantastic. As a blacksmith, you're actually fascinated by an iron weapon. I was captured and brought here when I was a child. I've been making monster weapons this whole time. I taught myself using books left by my village. The commander said if I couldn't make them, I'd die. That's why I studied so hard. I really want to go see Blacksmith Street. That is where blacksmiths truly live. Hearing this, the hero immediately proposed. Then I'll take you to Blacksmith Street. You don't want to stay here forever, do you? I can tell. Your disguise here isn't just about wanting to survive. My mentor told me, those in constant suffering are only truly alive if they have a reason for living. So, what is your reason for living? My reason? I suddenly remembered my father's last words. If possible, we hope to create magic unique to blacksmiths. If you've made up your minds, let's head out. However, at that moment, oh dear, it seems a big fellow is coming. The Legion commander suddenly walked in. Slave blacksmith, I heard a lot of noise coming from here. What's going on? The commander immediately saw the stranger in the room. Damn hero, how did you get in here? Miss Blacksmith, it seems I have to deal with this trouble first. The hero then drew two longswords. I'll take care of you before we leave. Saying that, she rushed toward the commander. I haven't seen you since I destroyed your legion. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have ended up in such a wretched state. As both sides created some distance, the commander swung his sawtooth tail at the hero. The hero was surprised to see this, because in previous battles, she had never seen him use this move. Too bad such small tricks won't work on me. Watching the hero's battle, it was like a free bird soaring between heaven and earth. In comparison, I am nothing more than a caged bird that never sees the light. The fight between the hero and the commander grew more intense. Damn it, can you do nothing but dodge? Hello? Then let me show you my true strength. Martial art, Northland-style hunting, sun-piercing wind. Skill, Amaterasu visionary flame. In the next second, their skills collided. Sword light and flames constantly dissipated in the clash. I couldn't believe it, the hero was actually being pushed back. And right at that moment, the hero actually said to me, if you just stay there and do nothing, the future will never change. Take action. Smash this rotten world. Let us write our own legend with our own hands. The hero threw 3 throwing knives at the commander. Each one was enveloped in massive magic power. They struck the commander's body directly. This is the paralyzing blade. It releases electricity upon impact. It can briefly paralyze the opponent. It seems you can't move now. A fool who only knows how to fight often leaves openings. To my surprise, the commander smirked. You seem to have forgotten where you are. My subordinates have already arrived. What's there to worry about? Do you really think I broke in here all by myself? Someone will take care of the trouble outside. Right, my dear apprentice. The hero's apprentice walked in, covered in blood. What a pains. You always dump the heavy chores on me. At this point, the commander actually pinned his last hope on me. Slave blacksmith, what are you standing there for? Hurry over and melt this thing for me. Hearing his command, I actually moved out of reflex. Hey, little blacksmith girl, if you don't make a change now, you'll be stuck here forever. Is that what you want? Hearing those words, I suddenly stopped in my tracks. Father told me to inherit the will of the blacksmith village before he died. But what did that actually mean? I want to go out and find the answer. If I keep living in fear, I will never know. Let today be the first step in my search for the truth. Seeing my expression, the commander panicked. Slave Blacksmith, what are you trying to do? Stop calling me that. Please remember my name is Valencia Yuta, and I am a human blacksmith. Lord Hero, can I really live as a human blacksmith again? I didn't expect you to be so strong. Don't doubt your own abilities. When you find partners who can fight by your side, exercise your powers to your heart's content. One day, you will get everything you want. My mentor's motto is, no one is more powerful than those who enjoy their own abilities. Ready to go to Blacksmith Street. My father's words suddenly echoed in my mind. Yuta, one day, I will take you to the sanctuary where all craftsmen gather. The legendary Blacksmith Street. Hot tears rolled down my cheeks. I knew I was finally free. Lord Hero, please take me to Blacksmith Street. A year passed in the blink of an eye. I was no longer that blacksmith who could be bullied. To find materials, I often go hunting personally. There's so much prey today. I can't wait. Let's go full throttle and wipe out all these disgusting bugs. The creator of monster weapons is waiting here. Adventurers, you are all welcomed. I will forge the most beautiful weapons for you. You just lightly lift a magic sword, and the moment it's thrust into the ground, a mountain-like demon manifests. Combined with my water-type skills, I threw a punch at the swarm of monsters. The terrifying power smashed the mountain in front of us to pieces. These monsters are really too weak. Not only the monsters, but even the weapons you forge are no good. It broke after just one move. No good. You have an opinion. As long as you can get me the materials I need, I have whatever kind of weapon you want. Don't forget, I am a monster weapon forger. The scene shifts back to my blacksmith shop. I start today's work with the newly acquired materials. Well, you should have felt it too, right? So annoying. I don't want to see him. According to my senses, that guy seems to have returned. At this moment, a man appeared on the streets. Lord Hero, this is Blacksmith Street, home to the continent's top craftsmen. This street is filled with high-quality weapons everywhere. It is truly a sanctuary for adventurers. The weapons are indeed very good, but they're a bit different from the rumors. Lord Hero, the shop you're looking for is right here. A shop named Banai appeared before them. When they walked in, they didn't see anyone. The owner might be out. Let's wait a while. I heard the craftsmen here are very tough and rugged, but experiencing it today, that doesn't seem to be the case. That's because the craftsmen here are bound by street rules. Street rules. What happens if they're violated? They will be permanently expelled from this city. I heard they might even have their arms cut off. Isn't that a bit of an exaggeration? Just then, the shop owner happened to walk out. It's not an exaggeration. Ultimately, so-called craftsmen are essentially just a bunch of thugs. It's precisely because of rules and taboos that these lawless fellows can be kept in check. So, brave adventurers, what kind of equipment are you looking to buy in my shop? We are looking for a type of weapon called a monster weapon. Lord Hero, I don't know where you heard that, but we don't have those strange things here. You should know, making or selling monster weapons is a taboo on this street. So I'm sorry, please leave my shop. But I know they exist. A giant weapon engraved with the mark of a horn and warhammer. The hero had become very strange at this point. This made his companion very worried. Ever since he got that new weapon, he has become quite odd. Lord Hero, stop for a second. Probing into the taboos of blacksmiths will lead to bad consequences. Is this the result you were talking about? Saying so, he directly killed the girl who just spoke. Then he turned to look at his other companion. 2 sacrifices should be enough, right? Even though the other party kept begging for mercy, wanting to know why. But the hero still ruthlessly sacrificed him to the magic sword in his hand. Before the guy who brought back the monster weapon shows up, I will kill everyone here. Spit it out, Aricidon. In the next second, the sword in the hero's hand opened its giant fangs, constantly spitting out disgusting monsters. The once peaceful Blacksmith Street was suddenly filled with golden light. Then a loud explosion echoed throughout the entire street. After the smoke cleared, only the shop owner survived. However, when he looked up, he was horrified to find a large number of red monsters emerging from the ruins. They were frantically pouncing on the people in the street. How boring. I've gone this far, and still no one has come to stop me. You fallen ones. We blacksmiths will never yield. Humans cannot control the weapon in your hand at all. Can't you feel it? Every time you use it, your mind is being corrupted by it. I don't care about such trifles. When I discovered this sword, a voice kept tempting me. Pick me up and achieve your goals. From that moment on, I became obsessed with this power. Only the immense power granted by monster weapons can make me a hero who never fails. At the moment the monster weapon swung down, it was blocked by a blade that suddenly appeared. It turns out Ash arrived just in time, saving the owner of the blacksmith shop. And I emerged from the side, hugging the hero's greatsword and stroking it. Long time no see, Aricidon. Your performance is still as lovely as ever. This action completely enraged the hero. He raised his sword and swung it at me, but I dodged it easily. You guy, why are you so rude? I won't serve a customer like this. Well, I'll leave the old man to your care. Yuta, don't forget the street's taboo rules. You must never use that thing. It's because of those street rules that we ended up like this. Those damn taboos. Let me break them. Saying so, he raised the unleashed hammer and slammed it heavily onto the ground. The terrifying power instantly destroyed everything around. However, it didn't cause much damage to the hero. In his eyes, the blacksmith in front of him seemed to have transformed. Various bizarrely shaped weapons were scattered around him. My lovely Lord Hero, you probably came here looking for these, right? Then come over quickly. You must take a good look at the masterpieces I forged. Seeing this, the hero was instantly excited. I finally found them, my favorite monster weapons. Every piece here is my masterpiece. If you want one, I'll give it to you. As I swung the hammer, the flying knife from just now was struck heavily by me. Unexpectedly, it was so fast that even the hero couldn't react, directly cutting off his arm. Don't be too picky. I have several more here I plan to show you. In the next second, the hero's body was pierced by the weapon I struck. The hero was now covered in blood and in a sorry state. You bastard! How dare you! The angry hero activated the magic sword skill again. Next, a large number of hideous monsters rushed toward me. You really disappoint me. Even though you possess a powerful weapon like Aricidon, you're still so useless. Let me show you the correct way to use a monster weapon. Saying so, he fed his own blood to the weapon in his hand. Drag him away, Hates. As Hates in my hand swung down heavily, hands emerged one by one from the ground, dragging all the charging monsters into hell. The hero looked at the scene before him in disbelief. All the monsters he summoned were actually eaten. Now even he was entangled by these monster hands. However, it's too late for regrets now. You should know that although the activation condition for monster weapons is human blood, the true method is to sacrifice one's own blood. The longer it's used, the more powerful the power it exerts. This is a magic sword that affects the user's emotions. If you use it without signing a contract, then it will eventually turn back and devour you. The older generation of Blacksmith Street didn't know the details, so they saw it as a taboo. The dying hero on the ground couldn't help but ask, "Who exactly are you?" As you can see, I'm just a blacksmith. But the blacksmiths here, including me, seem a little different. Everyone, take out the strongest weapons in your shops. Let these monsters know. Jayaomi Manga. We are the true masters here. See that? Jayaomi Manga. Every blacksmith here is more skilled than the last. Let me officially greet you. Fake hero. Welcome to Blacksmith Street. Simply because the monster weapons I once forged caused the hero to fall into darkness. Fortunately, all the blacksmiths on Blacksmith Street are powerful. Let me officially greet you. Fake hero. Welcome to Blacksmith Street. However, in the next second, I was standing at the entrance of Blacksmith Street. After finally saving the whole town, I ended up being expelled by them. Isn't it because you broke the taboo? I did nothing and yet I was dragged into it by you. You damn bastard. Now I'm homeless again. So what if I forged a few monster weapons? Is it necessary to treat me like this? Monster weapons are strictly forbidden in Blacksmith Street. Yet in my eyes, this is just the jealousy of the older generation. They have been completely corrupted by money, daring not to accept skills beyond their control. One day, I will prove to them that monster weapons are the ultimate path for a blacksmith. So, what do you plan to do now? They won't let us go back. You should know. All your monster weapons have been confiscated and destroyed. Now you have nothing but this broken hammer. These words instantly enraged me again. I'm going back to smash the whole Blacksmith Street. Don't stop me. I want to avenge my children. Just at this moment, my hammer actually had a reaction. This left us both stunned. How could this be happening now? You should know, this is a weapon I made using the Great Eye of Elsina, and I set it to have the function of marking the nearest monster weapon. Right now, the location marked by the eye is inside Blacksmith Street. Shouldn't all your weapons except this hammer have been destroyed? Most likely, someone has hidden them away. They actually dare to touch my weapons. It'll be very dangerous if left unchecked. Looks like we have to go back and fight. Luckily, I hid a monster weapon beforehand. Tell me, what's our plan next? Don't you already know? Do exactly as I just said. Give the entire Blacksmith Street a complete makeover. The weapons he once forged were hailed as the finest blades on Blacksmith Street, an elder of Craftsman Street, also the owner of the cult blacksmith shop, called Kieran's, but now he has become a laughingstock for adventurers. What a terrible weapons. Don't tell me this is the highest level of Blacksmith Street. With the decline of cult skill and status, now even third-rate adventurers look down on him. The situation gets worse by the day. But until that riot occurred yesterday, someone could become incredibly powerful just because of one weapon. Colt witnessed the entire process from the side. That is exactly the powerful weapon he sought. With just one sword, he almost destroyed the entire city. So, while I was being judged by Blacksmith Street, we have decided to destroy all the monster weapons you manufactured. And for the crime of violating the industry taboos followed by craftsmen, you are hereby ordered to be permanently expelled. Colt, listening from the audience, knew his chance to rise had come. Using his authority, he secretly hid them during the destruction process. Now, I have finally become the best craftsman on Blacksmith Street again. Scene transition. To avoid being discovered, we had no choice but to use the sewers to sneak back to Blacksmith Street. This was originally a tunnel I dug for weapon experiments. I didn't expect it to come in handy today. All right, tell me what you saw. Their scale seems even larger than we imagined. Seems like an old acquaintance of yours. Do you want to see for yourself? It's actually that guy Colt Kieran. Don't tell me he wants to reverse engineer my monster weapons. That would explain things. This is the final struggle of the declining Colt blacksmith shop. So what do you plan to do? Report them to the higher-ups. That's too troublesome. I'm going to just smash this place. Do you plan to take on the whole group of them with just the two of us? Did you forget? We still have a helper. After scrutinizing the weapon, Colt became extremely excited. Now I just need to figure out the materials used for those giant weapons. Once I can mass-produce them. While Colt was still fantasizing about a bright future, an underling rushed in frantically. Bad news, boss. Yuta is here. She's currently destroying everything in the lab. Oh my, hurry up and call that bald old thief out. You've been expelled. Leave this place at once. But in the next second, I grabbed the man's face and slammed him heavily into the ground. After the dust settled, Colt finally came out. Yuta, long time no see. I don't know how you found this place, but personally, I'd like to express my gratitude to you. Thanks to your monster weapons, my hope has been rekindled. I will make it the most brilliant existence on this street. Therefore, I have decided to seize this technology. For the sake of my career, you shall rest in peace here. Immediately, a group of underground mercenaries rushed at me. It seems there's no other choice. I didn't want to use this, but you forced my hand. Come forth, firearms. In the next second, several arms grew from my back. With one swing of the sword, the enemy in the air was slain. How about that? With these arms, I'm no longer afraid of being surrounded. Even if you try to sneak attack from behind, I can easily defend against it. You guys really? Couldn't you wait for me to finish speaking before attacking? But the mercenaries didn't care and surrounded me again. Underground mercenaries are truly a troublesome bunch. They are a group of killers who have no fear of death. Just defending is already reaching the limit. But I wouldn't be so stupid as to come and die alone. Suddenly, Ash darted out from the corner. Killers, the show begins. Saying so, she threw the monster weapon in her hand. Although she has retired, she used to be a veteran underground mercenary. Having caught the weapons, Ash rushed directly toward Colt. However, just when I thought the match was decided, the blade stopped in the last few centimeters. Unexpectedly, Other mercenaries suddenly burst out from the surroundings, blocking Ash's attack. But don't forget, Ash is holding a monster weapon. Come forth, firearms. Then, two arms transformed from fire grew from Ash's back, directly snapping the weapon in Colt's hand. I was careless. This fellow was actually aiming for the monster weapon in my hand. Yuta, what exactly are you trying to do? I just want to show you. What happens when you mess with my things? What do you mean by this? You'd rather destroy it than give it to me. Truly foolish. Do you really think the only materials for forging weapons are monster corpses? That spear is bound through a form similar to a contract, tied together with its original owner. At the moment the weapon broke just now, the contract also shattered. Hearing my words, Colt became even more confused. So what are you trying to say? With that brain of yours, do you really think you can create monster weapons? To utilize powers that exist outside the human realm. Forming bonds with them is part of the monster weapon domain. Let me show you its true face. In the next second, a giant dimensional portal appeared above everyone. Lord Doctor, long time no see. Seeing this, Colt was already scared witless. A giant dragon slowly stepped out from the teleportation array. As the saying goes, don't mess with a blacksmith, because you never know what they use to forge their weapons. To take back my monster weapon, I had no choice but to destroy the dragon's fang. This caused a giant portal to appear above our heads. Then a giant dragon slowly walked out from it. The dragon spoke. The magic in my extracted molar seems to have reconnected, causing my teeth to ache again. Is there something wrong with the treatment? Belias, I'm truly sorry. The magic seal device has failed. It's all because those guys broke the weapon. Only then did Colt realize that monster weapon was actually made from the teeth of the dragon before him. A bunch of barbaric monkeys, actually daring to break my tooth. Please, you must give these bad guys a good lesson. Although Colt wanted to explain it wasn't him who broke it. But it was all too late. You foolish humans. I shall wipe you off the face of this world. Meanwhile, over at the Blacksmith Street Elder Committee, it's a real pity Yuta was originally a gifted child. If she hadn't broken the street rules back then, her future would certainly have been limitless. I accepted Yuta into this street back then, just so I could keep her skills firmly in my own hands. That's why I planted you, Brooke, as a watcher, and yet you ended up shielding Yuta instead. If you weren't a member of the Elder Council, you should have been expelled along with her. I deeply apologize, but if you continue to act so arbitrarily, something is bound to go wrong sooner or later. What could possibly go wrong? Under my wise leadership, Blacksmith Street remains the safest place today. However, the next second, a violent explosion echoed from afar. This is bad, everyone. Yuta and Ash are back. Damn it, it's those two bastards again. At this moment on Blacksmith Street, the dragon is rampaging wildly. The surrounding walls are cracking one after another. At this rate, the entire Blacksmith Street will be destroyed. This is completely different from the chaos caused by that fake hero. Is this the consequence of touching a forbidden weapon? Looking at the scene before him, Coulter was stunned. Just then, a giant boulder fell from the sky, landing right on his thigh. I only wanted to take a monster weapon for research. Why did it end up like this? Have you still not realized your mistake? Monster weapons are not a domain you can simply touch. Someone whose only goal is money cannot master a forbidden weapon. Great power must come with a heavy price. It might even be deaths. How could an old fossil like you, who only cares about money, ever understand? The ancient lore regarding the forging of monster weapons says, whether it be a hero, a demon king, or a veteran adventurer, to obtain such a weapon, one must sell their soul and gamble their very life. A weapon has both advantages and disadvantages for its user. Monster weapons were not created solely to carry good intentions. They were made for the strongest, those capable of overturning an era. To forge the ultimate weapon. That is who I am. Galen Yuta, a monster weapon blacksmith. What boastful talk. Let's see how long you can remain so arrogant. One day you will realize that you are actually no different from me. Is that so? I will never be like you old fossils. Just you wait. One day I will prove to you all that my path of forging is the future for all blacksmiths. Saying this, he jumped directly onto the dragon's back. Just stay right there and watch everything you built come crashing down. You? A blacksmith without dreams are not worthy of being compared to me. The next second, the dragon spread its wings and flew into the sky. Barrios, find a deserted place to drop me off. Then destroy everything here. Except for my weapon crates, of course. If you break those sealed boxes, they will resonate with your magic and cause a chain reaction. That would be a massive catastrophe. So please, be very careful when landing. However, the careless dragon still messed things up. Mr. Doctor, my tooth doesn't seem to hurt anymore. Can I go now? At that moment, all the boxes sealing the monster weapons were destroyed. Magic resonance caused the weapons to fly out one after another, speeding off in all directions. Like meteors, they flew to every corner of the continent, to be found by others destined to hold them. Ash was stunned seeing this brilliant spectacle. We've really caused big trouble this time. You clumsy lizard. Look at what you've done. The scene shifts. I have embarked on a journey to find the monster weapons. Does the Eye of Elsion really point here? Is this thing broken? We've been walking for so long, but there's nothing here. Furthermore, this place is the front line between the Demon King's remnants and the human army. How did your weapon end up falling in a place like this? I'm frustrated too. It wasn't my choice. Thanks to Barrios, my weapons are scattered across every corner of the continent. The council realized that if my weapons were abused again, it would lead to such disasters. So they revised the rules and taboos of Artisan Street, and granted me exclusive rights to the production and distribution of monster weapons. In exchange, they tasked me with searching for all the monster weapons across the continent. That's why I was dragged all the way to the front lines like this. Regardless of the weapons, the Eye of Elsina is never wrong. Meanwhile, a man in black is massacring soldiers here. I feel like a lifetime of accumulated effort becomes worthless in the face of this weapon. Now, this has become my exclusive hunting ground. New update, new updates. To find the monster weapons scattered around the world, Ash and I came to the front line of the war between the Demon King's remnants and humanity. Unexpectedly, the first thing we saw was a battle between humans and monsters. A man in armor was actually holding a magic wand, launching a lightning shock spell at the giant beast before him. However, no matter how hard he tried, that weak current was completely ineffective against the monster. Damn it, this thing is just a useless toy. Facing the monster's attack, the man turned to run. Looks like things are finally getting interesting. Don't move, I'll handle this one. Who cares about first come, first served? Saying that, we raised our weapons and jumped in together. Our combined strike instantly killed the monster. This sudden change made the man who was about to run stop in his tracks. I'm curious, a guy like you, clad in heavy armors, but only able to cast basic spells. Are you a warrior or a mage? Thank you for saving me. My name is Banjan Packard. I am a shield warrior guarding the front lines. A while ago, a fellow called the Legion Commander appeared on the battlefield. I was cursed with a status reversal. My stamina and strength were all converted into mana. As a result, I became a warrior who couldn't even lift a shield. I'm left with massive amounts of mana surging from my body, but I have no idea how to use spells. After Ash checked, she found that the man wasn't lying. Packard's entire body is currently emitting a vast amount of mana, comparable to the level of a high-tier mage. Seeing this, I suddenly realized, isn't this exactly what a monster weapon is for? That child has fallen into the hands of the demon race. I received news that the unit commander is about to launch a full-scale offensive. Many more of my comrades will die then. And yet, I currently have no way to protect them. This feeling is worse than dying in battle myself. I didn't expect your weapon to end up in the hands of a Demon Legion commander. This is a bit troublesome. At that moment, I thought of a good plan. Old man, if I can make it so you can pick up a shield again, can you take me to the battlefield? Are you joking with me? Even if you could, I can't take a child to the battlefield. It's too dangerous there. Don't worry, I just want to have a chat with your boss. As for the shield, as I said, I can help you with that. After all, I am an all-powerful blacksmith. The scene shifts to a nearby blacksmith shop. Using the furnace here, I began my forging work. Due to the recent series of events, it's been a long time since I forged a weapon. As expected, only the sound of a hammer striking metal gives me the most satisfaction. Packard, if it weren't for your sake, I would never lend my furnace to a novice blacksmith who knows nothing. Do you really think this little brat can forge any impressive gear? Wait, the temperature is too high. At this rate, the entire furnace will be destroyed. Just as the shop owner was about to go and save it, he noticed something strange burning in the fire. I'm really sorry, boss. I broke your furnace. But this kind of scene isn't seen every day. So consider it the price for this performance. This thing leans towards a mechanical structure. Its mana circuit is very complex. It must be forged to a strength that can withstand such a circuit. After briefly asking Packard about his habits and endurance range, I began the most critical step of the forging process. The blade is forged from dragon bones, and a complex mana circuit must be embedded. These operations seemed absolutely insane to the shop owner. Quenching it in one go. Ordinary materials couldn't possibly withstand this intensity. And what is that thing in her hand? I've never even seen that kind of material before, let alone such a forging method. I've read in ancient texts that there were once 3 crafts using this method. This is an imitation of the forging technique used by the goddess of the furnace. The skill passed down by that clan. But I heard that clan was wiped out over 10 years ago. Packard, who exactly is that little girl? I heard she's a blacksmith from Blacksmith Street. Can she really make me pick up a shield again? I've always stood at the very front to protect the comrades behind me. This is my duty, and even more my honors. Young blacksmith, I don't know if this is a coincidence of fate or just a chance encounter, but if you can let me return there to be the support my comrades rely on, I will sell you my soul as well. Just then, I finished forging the weapon. What a pity. Because this isn't my own furnace. This weapon isn't quite perfect. There's a high chance it will break soon. Even so, I believe you will surely help your master fulfill his wish. By the way, your name shall be Conversion. Uncle Packard, I want to confirm something first. Even if it's only temporary, do you still call yourself a warrior? Of course, warrior is not just a title to me, but the power to protect my comrades. As long as I can do that, I will always be a warrior through and through. Very good. Only then are you worthy of the weapon I forged. Are you ready? We are heading to where you belong. The scene shifts to the front line of the war. The great battle between humans and the demon race has begun. Even without their captains, and even with insufficient defense, they still do not fear death, bravely killing enemies in the war against the demons. So what if it's dangerous? I'll wipe out all these damn bugs. However, the next second, a fierce magic cannon shot was fired from afar, aimed straight at the heroes fighting on the front line. Facing this strike, everyone was helpless. If only Packard were here. Just at that moment, Packard leaped high with his giant shield, blocking the magic cannon blast. The powerful energy scattered in all directions, exploding amidst the monster swarm. After the dust settled, the magic girl finally saw the person before her. Sorry everyone, I'm late. I am willing to protect everyone with my life. Vanguard Captain, Warrior Packard, reporting for duty. Commander, please give your orders. When a warrior with only mana obtains power, he will create an entirely new combat class to let the mana-filled mage pick up the Great Shield again. I specifically forged a weapon for him that can convert mana, allowing him to become the Great Shield Warrior who protects everyone once more. Sorry I'm late. I'll handle the defense from here on out. Saying so, he walked toward the battlefield carrying the giant shield. Facing the oncoming army of monsters, Packard raised the sharp sword in his hand and struck down hard towards the ground. The terrifying power directly blew away all the charging monsters. Seeing the weapon I forged have such an effect, I am very satisfied. This monster weapon named Conversion can transform injected mana into corresponding physical strength. Though the efficiency of mana conversion isn't high, it doesn't matter at all to someone with a massive pool of mana. I call the current Packard a magic sword shielder. Packard's return instantly reignited hope in all the warriors. That's wonderful. Our Vanguard captain is finally back. However, while she was still celebrating, a demon aimed a fierce fire arrow at the front line. Packard quickly raised his shield to block it. The immense power exploded directly on the battlefield. Those new demons up ahead. Jeron, did you see a guy carrying a strange magic wand? 3 terrifying demons suddenly appeared on the battlefield, seemingly generals of the monster army. Unexpectedly, Ash charged straight at them upon seeing them, not forgetting to remind me to keep an eye on that archer. The next second, Ash was in front of the demons. A fierce battle broke out between them. As for me, I raised my giant hammer and leaped high. Release, Elsina. Immediately, the giant hammer split into several pieces, launching a fierce attack on the archer below. However, such an attack was not enough to damage it. The opponent drew their bow and aimed an arrow again, firing it at the fighting Wenshi. Fortunately, Packard arrived in time, blocking the archer's attack once more. Even the full power strike of the dual-blade demon before him couldn't break his defense. Ash took this opportunity to bypass the giant shield and attempt a sneak attack. But she was discovered, and the opponent swung their blade down. However, all of this was within Ash's expectations. She directly released the monster weapon skill, using phantom arms to catch the opponent's attack. While the dual-blade demon was in shock, when she revealed a smile, without them noticing, I had already arrived on this side. Ash used her phantom arms to throw me forcefully at the demon. Didn't expect that, did you? Take this. Invincible Destruction Hammer. This fierce hammer blow smashed the opponent deep into the stone wall. How about that? We are the famous problem duo of Blacksmith Street, the dragon and tiger duo. Just then, a grim voice came through. You guys are even more interesting than I imagined. A woman dressed in black robes, holding a magic wand, walked over. Seeing the wand in her hand, I recognized it immediately. That is exactly the monster weapon I forged, named Reverse Crown Arnicap. Ash has a hot temper too. Seeing the target, she excitedly charged and swung her sword. However, despite swinging her sword several times, the opponent didn't care at all. Sneering at Packard, I really didn't expect you, Vanguard Captain, to be able to return. I placed the curse of eternal reversal on you. Why can you pick up a giant shield again now? You damn bastard. Even if I lose my arms and legs, I will still protect them. But why have you become like this? What reason could possibly make you willing to serve the demons? The ones I hate most are warriors like you. All that talk about honor and destiny. It sounds as if you would stand up and protect everyone. But when the critical moment actually comes, you are nowhere to be found. I was once abandoned by those so-called upright warriors, left all alone to struggle for survival in the forest. Just when I was in despair, thinking I was about to die there, I discovered this magic wand. This is what reignited my hope for revenge. With the power granted by the magic wand, I gained recognition from the Demon King's Legion. From then on, I became one of their comrades. Even if everything you say is true, I still cannot agree with it. Perhaps the situation is different in other regions, but on this front line, most warriors are almost fanatical. They focus more on protecting their comrades than their own lives. They believe that as long as they persevere, the teammates behind them will definitely come to save them, believing that we will eventually wipe out all of the enemies. The warriors I know are all such a bunch of eccentric fellows. How ridiculous. No matter how much time has passed, I can still clearly recall the scene of being abandoned that day. That disgusting warrior's face always surfaces in my mind, including you. I will kill everyone here.